I Respectfully Disagree podcast. Hitting y'all with the double whammy today. Uh got Charlie on here with us. Welcome to the podcast, my brother.
Hey, what's going on, family?
Can't call it. Like I said, this is the second episode today. I'm streaming live on YouTube again. It's been easier for me to do that, so that way I don't have to do all the editing and all that stuff. So when we get done, I can put the audio on Spotify and all that right away, and then share the link on Facebook. For y'all that are new to the channel, man, please be sure to like, share, subscribe uh to the I Respectfully Disagree podcast. Again, the whole point of the podcast is just, to try to be informative, have some fun, laid back conversations, talk about trending topics. If it's things going on in the world that you agree with, we'll talk and chop it up. If it's things going on that you disagree with, we gonna talk and chop it up. So tonight I got Charlie on here. Um, Conversation came up about the Michael Jackson movie that's currently in theaters, and we was just sitting there chopping it up and talking about the influence and the impact that Michael Jackson had on the world, and whether or not we'll see something similar to that in today's generation, and why we agree or disagree, and just talking about music overall, which is something that we tend to do a lot. And also, this is the opportunity for him to roll out his project and discuss some of the inspirations and the things that went into creating it and his love for music and things like that. So we just gonna lay back and chop it up. Um, May the 29th is when your project's gonna roll out. Again, we'll get into all that in the specifics. Just wanted to do the introduction, but the floor is yours, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. Not much. You know I love talking about music all day, every day, 24/7. Uh, good thing. I liked your episode this morning, or was this afternoon? When you talking about Drake.
Hmm.
I like what you said about the Drake situation. I know I said my part of the Drake situation on TikTok as well. One thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say this because I can say this. I remember in college before nobody even know about Drake. And I remember like you came down there that weekend with Angelina, and I remember I had to do a project because I went to school for music business. So I had to take a small independent music business class. So
Yeah.
one of our projects was it said, y'all need to pick an artist that you think is gonna be the next big thing in the next 5 to 10 years, right? So we all sitting there in my group, and I'm the music guy because like my teachers had me take these classes because they said, dude, you know a lot about music. So I started getting on Drake back then. I didn't know what he looked like. I thought he was dark skinned. I didn't know. Me and Jarrell used to listen to him. And we had the mixtapes then because I heard of like Combat Season because Successful was on Combat Season with Trey Songz. Like,
Yeah.
and so the thing is, I remember I was in class. I said, "Let's do it on Drake." They said, "Who is Drake?" I said, "Trust me, man. He gonna be the next big thing." So we looked him up. That's when I knew he was light skinned. Somebody said, "That's the dude from Degrassi." I don't know what that is. I'm gonna say by the Bell guy. I don't know nothing about that. So we did that, and I remember you came down that weekend, and I told you, "Listen to this." And he
Yeah.
said, "Who is this?" I said, "That's Drake." And like I want the reason I'm saying that because a lot of people judging the Drake thing. And I know somebody online said today that his best project was the one with Future. I said, "You are nah, I don't agree with that." I said his best projects was the first three, and I told you with Iceman, and I still haven't listened to the other two. That's why I'm not trying to judge you. With Iceman, it wasn't terrible. It was decent. But what I told you was what I was afraid he's going to do is talk about all the people did him wrong. And I said, just do you. Because he had the formula at the beginning. The problem I saw with Drake was when Drake started trying to collab with other people. That's what messed him up because he had his own formula at first. Because what people don't know is, let me cut you off. What people don't know is, I was big on Kendrick, but Kendrick and Drake used to collab a lot and do shows a lot. Drake was out big before Kendrick. See, people don't know that. So over short term, I think that's what messed him up. But for people to sit there and talk about Drake, I think Drake has on from it at the beginning, and I think he grew and experienced different things. But I'm talking about his style and the production and stuff like that. He should have stayed with 40 and like this stuff like that because now everybody got this idea about him, and I think the reason why because he stepped away what made him special in the first place. That's my opinion.
And that's fair. Like I said, I'm not here to argue about it or whatever because everyone is entitled to their opinion in regards to that. But for me, my stance is to touch back on some of what you were saying. It's like, is that not the goal? Is that not what we sit around and talk about? It's like if we ever became successful or the podcast blows up or your music and stuff blows up, do you turn around and lend a hand to somebody that is trying to come up or somebody that's trying to get into the business? And if you have that stage or that platform to help elevate somebody else, why would you oppose to doing that? So that's my stance on it. It's like over the course of time, you literally see how many people he has helped. And in the end, the same exact people that he has helped are now the same people that are trying to tear him down. And it's like that's what makes people become a cold-hearted person to where you don't want to help others. You don't want to look out for people. And then next thing you know, it's all he think he's better than everybody. All this and it's like, nah, bro, like your actions have turned me into this person. So that's why, in my opinion, the album was perfect. You interpret it as he's attacking everybody and throwing shots and this and that. But in my opinion, you heard the pain, you heard the hurt, you heard his feelings in terms of what was going on during all of that process and how he's looking at it now like, damn, I can't believe that y'all really turned y'all back on me and done this to me after everything that I've done for y'all. This is the thanks that I get. So now this is the person that I've become as a result of this. It's F everybody. But it's like, oh, F Drake, he's trying to be this fake tough guy, this and then it's like, bro, like this is the persona because you just said it yourself. I don't know if you caught it or not. It's like when you first heard it, you thought it was a dark skinned guy. But then once you found out that he was light skinned, then it changes the perception of who he is. And it's like that's the label that's been put on him the entire time. Oh, he's this soft, whining, light skinned dude, this and that. And it's like music is music.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't see that. I'm just saying he light skinned brother. I said I didn't see that. I didn't. To me, the people he helped, because you got to think, where did he get this from? Where he get this collabing and show love from?
I'm listening.
Houston, Texas. That's where he got his shine from. In Houston, they all collab with each other. Well, they used to. You get what I'm saying? So that's probably where he got that feel from. I think the people he helped out that was new, like Block Boy, JB, and all them, like, that's cool. The people who did him wrong was the people who was trying to use him. That already was big, but they try to use him because he had the lights on him. They're the ones who did him dirty. I don't even count Kendrick. Him and Kendrick had bad blood for a long time. I don't count Kendrick. Everybody else riding them cocktails though.
Go to the Rick Ross situation. I mentioned his name earlier a little bit, but it's like, okay, Rick Ross was established. We already know Port of Miami, Every Day I'm Hustling. He had hit records, but it wasn't until them choruses and Drake jumped on them Aston Martin records and things like that to where it took him to a whole different stratosphere.
Yeah, I think Drake started collabing with him on Teflon Don.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, and even now to this very moment, like you rolling out your new project, Set in Stone or whatever it's called, and instead of you focusing on this up and coming project and talking about your inspirations and what made you want to sit down and do a new album and things like that, which is what we're accustomed to. Like it used to be a rollout where you went on and done interviews or did magazine things and you talked about what inspired me to sit down and create this, what went into this project. Where nowadays the new formula is I'm gonna spread some gossip, throw somebody's name in it to try to get the headlines and get their fan base or get the rest of the world interested in what I'm saying, and then I'll announce that I got some new music coming. And to me, I think it's corny, bro. Like this
Very,
internet has ruined everything.
very corny. Very corny. I would say when the Clips come out their album, that's where that album was so anticipated because they did like traditional interviews talking about their album and stuff. Even though Push T has to say by Drake, but like it wasn't all on Drake. The album wasn't on Drake. It was a really good album, which I still believe No Malice was the MVP of the album. But like their rollout was perfect because they just talk about the album. It was anticipation. And I'm with you. I think that's what we're missing. Everybody wants to be like kumbaya instead of really listening to what they like. Because I remember when the Drake album came out, I was at the gym and I told you, like, I'm listening to it. I wanted to be in a place where I could listen straight through. And I
Yeah.
don't I don't want to judge just yet. I said, I'm curious what he's gonna do. But he's really big on Houston, like the song we said, that's why I gotta be free. He got that for little flip off the leprechaun.
Yeah, but even with that, it's like, and I'm gonna ask you because you said you love music, you love the culture, you love being around everything music. Like when you hear these samples and you hear the different flows and the things like that, to me, that proves that he's a student of music. He knows his shit. I'm sampling something, I'm
Oh
using
yeah,
a cadence,
I
I'm
agree with
doing
that
something,
100%.
and it's
Yeah.
like, when did that become a negative thing? Because a lot of the music that we've grown to love, bro, I didn't find this out until maybe a few years ago that Ice Cream Man was a sample of something from back in the day.
Yeah. It was the Wrecking Crew. That's what Dr. Dre was in.
I had no fucking clue.
Mhm.
So I'm saying, like, people act like music is sacred and it has to all be original and it all has. I'm like, bro, everything is recycled.
Hip hop was built. Hip hop was built because at the time African Americans was really big in jazz and blues. But well, a lot of people when heroin and drugs came in, they kind of like took it away from them. So basically, for us, for our community, we started making our own type of music, which started with the DJs in the neighborhood. But then people starting to like sample different records because the thing is now everybody was had money to buy equipment and stuff like that. That's where like the scratch tables came in, the record players, and the MPC came in and stuff later, but it really started with the samples. If you really go off like Nas Illmatic was really a bunch of samples. What I mean by that is it's like not just like songs, but even like the drum patterns of James Brown drummers, stuff like that. They took them and they cut it and then they made it their own. So hip hop was always built on that formula. Now, I mean, yeah, like rap music, because hip hop is the culture, it's the foundation. But rap music is like that's how it started. Even if you look at Rapper's Delight, Rapper's Delight was the first mainstream song to come out, right?
Yeah.
They sampled a R&B funk song back then in disco. It had a disco sound to it.
Look, I just played that in the car the other day. I had my kids in there. Next thing I know, Peyton was doing something. He done downloaded it to his phone, Rapper's Delight.
Hmm.
And I was just like, that just shows you how impactful and how timeless certain music can be. And that's why I'm like, when did we get to this point where music now creates so much tension to where people want to argue and fight when it's supposed to be a collaborative thing? We're all supposed to come together for the greater good to create something that everybody can enjoy. So that's why I was just like, I just been sitting here taking it all in and just peeping and watching how everybody moves. And I'm like, bro, it's so different now. And I'm like, if this is the state where music and shit is going, then I don't want to be a part of that. I saw a post earlier and it actually made sense. And it was from a younger person. And they was like, I want to ask from the OGs, from their perspective, was it really this much tension back in the day when you had the Pac and Biggie beef or the Jay-Z versus Nas? was the two fan bases constantly at odds with each other the way you see it now. And people was like, nah, because you didn't have the internet involved. It's like you enjoyed both tracks. You was just there to listen to the disses, to the diss records, and you kept it moving. You know, you hate that at the end of the day, it led to violence in some situations, but in reality, you just took in the music.
Yeah.
Where
I
now
agree.
it's like, bruh, like
You know
people
what?
ready to go to blows.
I agree with that. I agree with that because I remember when Nas Jay Z came out, and I remember when Nas came out, when he is a woo, you know, you sitting there like, this is nice. Even with the Drake and Kendrick, I enjoyed it. That was, dude, that whole weekend, me and you was talking
We
late at
That's what I'm
night.
saying. We set up
Yeah,
talking about it. And then from that point moving forward, it just became something different. And that's
but
why I was like, it impacted music, but in my mind now, it wasn't for the greater good. Because now everybody's like, oh, Kendrick's gotta respond. Kendrick, I'm like, bruh, is this what their careers is gonna come down to now?
I think with them because they was the hottest, and I put J Cole up there too. Even though J Cole out, he softened out on that, but like they were the best MCs. So like doing a friendly competition like it was gonna happen. I just don't like how it happened to where like the messiness around it. I didn't like that. I told you I wouldn't mess with Future if I was straight at all. I don't care what nobody say because if he did it once, he'd do it again. I think because Future, what people don't know is Future sold his publishing and everything. He got money out of it, but he can't use them songs like he used to. So now he's trying to find a way to get back on. Think about it. He changed his image and everything. You know, he looked crazy with that haircut, but he changed his image and everything. Think about it. And now you want to go back to Drake because your music not hitting like it.
It's,
Think
it's
about it.
just it's just interesting. Like I said, just sitting around watching a lot of these radio personalities and people backpedal. And it's like literally that's what's wrong with the situation as well, because people are just riding and going along with what everybody else is saying for that moment.
You know, one thing I don't like, I saw it today. Um, Somebody's talking about like Trump and them use like the cover of Magna. They
Yeah.
said why he didn't say this and that. Dude, he's not. He don't need to talk about politics. What we talking about? He's from Canada. Why would he care?
Look, that's why I didn't even mention that this morning when I did my podcast episode on that. I was like, that to me ain't even worth talking about because it shows you how ignorant people sound.
Yeah, people just picking anything. That was
Even if
stupid.
even if he wasn't from Canada, in my opinion, it's like, bro, y'all fed me to the wolves for 2 years straight. F me, I'm culture vulture. I'm not a part of us. Literally, not like us. And now that comes out and it's like, oh, why didn't he denounce this? And he ain't speaking up for black people. He ain't. It's just like, bro, to me, we're so flip floppy, and it's like, nah,
And
like that's
plus,
crazy.
like, he's from a Jewish community. So my thing is like, what makes you think that he's gonna dude? I've never been to Canada, but Canada don't think like us, for one. So my thing is with that, I think that was stupid. You know what I'm saying? But I can be honest because I told you I've been listening to Drake from the beginning. Now I will admit I didn't like a lot of his albums because I thought he would just rushing to put out a hit or an anthem so like that. And I told you before he's collaborating with too many people. Like that's what I felt. But
So
I
let me ask
knew
you this, because I feel like this will be a great transition to start talking about Michael Jackson, and then we'll get into your music. But it's like you're saying that he's collaborating with too many people, and to me, in my opinion, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. It's like if I have this platform and I know that I have this star power and I can influence and change people's lives with it, then why wouldn't I use it to the greater good? And it's
you
like when he went across waters and started using, artists and stuff from over there, people tend to forget that his audience is the world. I feel like sometimes for us here in the United States or the black culture, we think that music should only be intended for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't like when other people outside of our race consume our music or go to concerts and things like that. It comes with such a judgmental label, but it's like his audience is the world. He makes music that everybody across the planet wants to hear. So if he goes in and he's doing a song where he changes his voice and adjusts to cultures and things like that, it's like some people may view it as a culture vulture or he's biting and things like that. But to me, I'm like, bro, he's an entertainer at the end of the day.
Well, that I know in Canada, there's a lot of different ethnicities in Canada. So people forget about that. Like there's a bunch of Jamaicans in Canada. There's like it's different cultures up there. So we don't know. But one thing I will say, there's no wrong with helping somebody. But I'm gonna go back to hip hop, my favorite year, 97, 98, when you had like DMX coming out, Chapter Two, World Domination came out, Gangsta Boo came out, Ice Cube War album came out, Both There's a Harmony came out, Eminem came out. Everybody had their own style. Everybody sounded different. Even though when they collab with each other, they kept their own secrets and their sauce to themselves. Because that made them unique. It made them mysterious, mystique. That's the reason why I think Drake made a mistake on. Because at the time, he had an OVO sound. So with me, it's like when he brought people in, you bringing people too much into what you do. That's my opinion.
That's fair. I'm not here to argue, but that's what I'm saying. It's like out of all those people that you named, it's only a handful, if we're gonna be honest, that could go global and take their music with them. So it's like we're asking for people to kind of stay in their lane and put yourself in a box just to soothe our ear.
Mhm. I think the artists that did it, that changed throughout the times, and people didn't mind it, Outkast.
And even with that, you know for yourself, and you're right here looking at me in my face. I didn't once they changed and broadened their platform, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
And that was some of their most successful music.
I still love it. But my
So
favorite
that's what I'm
album,
saying. It's like at the end of the day, bro, you have to adjust to your audience.
yeah, my favorite album by them was a Quit of Mine. But I like the Speaker Box and Love Below. The Love Below is in my top. Man, I love the Love Below.
How many
So
times like man, Andre 3000 he weird, bro. He in all the videos, he just weird. Like I'm like, when you first saw them come on the scene from Southern Playalistic and they had the Atlanta Braves baseball jerseys and the Kango hats, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the Outcast that I remember. And then as they grew and got bigger, you saw the change. You saw the sounds in their music change and it became a global product. They were making music for a mass majority, not just Southern listeners.
I think what helped them out too, each album they made was different and people appreciate the art form because I remember Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music. It wasn't until AT Aliens that really got me. That's when like Andre started dressing a little bit weird then. But it's a Quinema. Quinema was like a funk infused album. So I love the funk music. And
Mhm.
then when you got Stank Onia came out, I like that one too, but I could tell that was leaning towards more of the Caucasian audience. And then Speaker Box and Love Below, that's when you saw that like their music was more universal. They made like their music was just outcast music. So, like, that's the best way I can explain.
It became global. Like that. So that's what I'm saying. It's like we will appreciate that and big ups to Outkast, but then you'll tell somebody like Drake that they're a culture vulture. Oh, they only make music to kiss up to this group of people or that group of people. And we've had this conversation before. I'm like, bro, his biggest audience is women. So why would I change up my formula to please a bunch of dudes when I know that my shows is gonna be a crowd full of women? I could care less if a man consumes my music, bro. I'm singing to the ladies.
But that's the thing. He cares.
Of course.
That's
Of
the thing.
course.
He cares.
So now that's why I'm like, now you get Iceman. Every project up until now, I still feel like it was majority soft music, singing. That's why a lot of it I just didn't rock with. I would just pull selected songs and add it to my playlist, and those were the songs that I listened to. But it's like he gave people what they asked for. You got an album that was strictly rapping. You got an album that was strictly slow jams. You got an album that is supposedly club records or whatever. I haven't listened to Maid of Honor yet. But it's like, what more do you want? But again, let's get off that because we done spent 30 minutes talking about him,
Yeah.
and that was not my intentions. But I'm saying that to move forward now to Michael Jackson, because we've been sitting there talking about the world stage, the global stage, and it's like I go into this movie not knowing what to expect because I don't do previews and stuff no more. So I had no idea what the movie was about, where it was going to start, nothing. I knew my wife wanted to see it, my mother-in-law wanted to see it, and we took the kids. So like right out the gate, soon as it starts, it's like, damn, Michael really was that dude. Like you saw he had a gift. You saw the talent. You saw that it was there. And it's like him as a little boy sitting there watching James Brown and he's trying to copy the moves and the things like that. And it's like as the movie progressed, you saw. Hold on. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my camera. Hold on. Look like my camera died. Let me see if I can switch it. Oh, like I said, as long as you can still hear me, we cool.
I'll tell you what. I know. 'Cause I went with my niece and my wife. I know where it started. My body started moving. Well, what song like "Want to Be Starting Something" that came on? I started singing
Yeah.
the movie theaters. Constantly like, shoot, good music, man. But no, it showed. I'm gonna let you finish what you have to say, and then I'll come in with mine from the movie.
No, like what I'm saying is at the end of the day, by the time you got through the movie, you saw the inspiration. You saw his impact on the world and you saw what he gave to his craft and the hard work and the perfection. He wanted it to be perfect. And then to see that even in 2026, bro, his music is in the top 10 on billboards. It's like that shows you, bro. Like, man, my kids walked out of there dancing and having fun and having a good time. So it's like, now Michael Jackson might be the best ever, man. Like for real.
My niece went and played Michael Jackson movie. We got out because I was telling her, man, like when I saw the movie, I was talking to my niece. It took me back to my childhood, man. I remember seeing the Thriller music video. Me and my sister used to dance off of it and stuff like that. I remember seeing just his videos in particular, because like it was a big event, and it showed to me is like with the movie. What I liked about it was it showed how talented he really was, and it showed like what he knew, what he wanted. Like for instance, when Off the Wall came out, Off the Wall was basically like for a lot of like African Americans, they like Off the Wall better than Thriller. The thing with Off the Wall, the movie didn't speak on the reason why he made Thriller. He made Off the Wall because he made Quincy Jones from the Wiz set. So that's how him and Quincy Jones made off the Wiz movie. And like they did Off the Wall. Off the Wall was like it was an R&B album, but it was towards disco. So when he did it, he had the vision and everything. But the thing is, when he went to the Grammys, he won R&B album of the year, but he didn't win album of the year, and it ticked him off because because he made the album University, they try to put him in the box. That's when he came out with Thriller. And people probably know this, but like the thing is, when Thriller came out, the first single was "The Girl Is Mine" with Paul McCartney. He did that on purpose because he was trying to get white people to see his music. Believe it or not, Michael Jackson wasn't known across the globe with white people like that back then. So he came out with that first. Then he came out with Billie Jean. Then he came out with Human Nature, and Thriller was last.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he did it, see, the movie showed it, but dude, like Michael Jackson, he knew how he wanted the music to sound by doing beats with his mouth. That's what like I tell people don't understand. Like the dude was like really knew what he wanted to do. Like that is creativity to the third degree. And then when they showed like how he was looking at things, and he was using his everyday life to really come up with Thriller, it was beautiful, man. It was like, and what people don't probably know is that was Michael Jackson's sixth album. So think how long he had to develop and what he wanted to be. You get what I'm saying? Like people don't know that. They think Thriller's his second album. So no, that's his sixth. But he had
Yeah.
to leave. He had to leave his daddy because his daddy wanted him to make certain type of music. And then another thing too with the videos, what people don't understand, Michael Jackson was doing that before that. I don't know if you ever seen that video with the Jacksons. Can you feel it? You ever seen that video?
Nah.
Really? Oh man, you gotta go on YouTube. But like Michael Jackson directed that, and it showed like where his visions at. Cause back then it was like the Jacksons were like the creators of the world. And they was coming through like molding stuff, throwing glitter, making people. And they had Michael Jackson where it was like a bridge. There was a rainbow appeared. And Michael Jackson like bent down and pulled it up, and fire came out and everything. Nah, man, the video awesome. But it was like a movie. But Michael Jackson did that. And like the thing is, he had ideas and like he couldn't be with his brothers because it was starting his growth. He
Yeah.
knew what he wanted to do. And like Thriller, man, he spent like I think they sold like 800,000 back then. But like in today's time, it was like $2 million project. So he knew what he wanted to do.
But see, but that's the thing, and I don't mean to cut you off. It's like I remember sitting down and they had that big rollout on MTV where they showed the making and all of that went into it. And man, that was probably like an hour long little docu series or whatever it was. And then all the way at the end is when they showed the video.
Yup.
And that shit was like 13 minutes long. And you sat there and you watched it like it was a fucking movie.
Yup.
And that's the part that you sitting there in the theaters, and it's like you have such a profound appreciation for everything that went into that. So then when you walk out of the movie, you sitting around asking yourself, it's like, what happened to that love and that passion that
And
Mike had in today's time?
Mike, I think with some artists, they just have it where like to me, honestly, when I think of like artists, they kind of weird in their own right. And they kind of like feel isolated from the world. Michael Jackson really felt like he was isolated from the world. Like he didn't get to grow up or nothing like that. It was one part in the movie that like I can understand where Michael came from. Cause they talking about why you don't got your friends. He said they want to be Michael Jackson. They want autographs. So I want friends. So he had animals. The dude was a real life Tarzan. I don't know that.
I think that was a dope aspect of it because I never looked at it from that lens either, where it was like he had such an infatuation with animals and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, they're my friends," and it's because at such a young age, like you just said, it's like you're never gonna have a regular childhood. It's impossible.
And the thing is, like with animals, I don't know about no monkeys and snakes and stuff, but like with animals, they really do see like the good heart in you. I got two dogs, man. Let me tell you, like they just love me for me. So I get it, man, because like animals do help you with your day. And so like when Michael Jackson makes you show how lonely he was, and his imagination was so dope because that's all he had to entertain himself. See, that's the thing. That's all he had. So he used music as an avenue to help him out. They were talking about the Peter Pan and stuff like that. Like,
I thought that was dope too. How
yeah,
they keep referencing back to that.
Yeah, like the thing is, show his imagination, man. Like, dude, you have to really like really be an artistic person to think like it. Like, even like don't start till you get in a music video. Can you imagine, man? Dude, like for back then to make that. And like I love the Rock with You music video, but I always he had that glitter, that laser in the back. He said, I'm on the rock with you. The beat, the feet kick. I always say, can. Cause you always see him cuff his boots together. Can. But like but nah, man, like that was a cool part. I like the part too they showed he was really scared of his dad. Cause like he tried to use everybody else to so he could do his own thing. Eventually, he had to do it himself. They put him in the corner, like, dude, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna have to like, I'm gonna
Got to
have to do this
develop
myself.
a backbone to
Yeah,
face fears. I like that element too because, in a sense, I kind of went through some of that similarities where it's like you don't want to voice how you really feel because you don't want the argument, you don't want the tension, you don't want the backlash, or you don't want to feel like you've disappointed the
you
family.
know,
And it's like you said, in reality, he realized that they was gonna stunt his growth. You have all these visions and these ideas of how you want your music to sound, but it's like, okay, here's your brothers who don't share that same passion in a sense. Not saying that they didn't, but it's obvious that you know Mike had the mastermind of all of this, and it's like here I am, I'm wanting to go in one direction, but these other people are not on the same page as me, and it's
they
like,
look, yeah, they looked at it like it was cool to do at the moment, like that, like it was cool. They're making money and stuff, but Michael looked at it more than that. And like honestly, he's not the. I don't think he's young. I think Randy's the youngest. But the thing is, if you look at his brothers, they're always older than him. So think about this. Michael is the second to the youngest. So who does he have to really play with around his age with his brothers? He don't. So like when he came up, like that one part he tell me, y'all want to play Twister stuff. I guess no, Mike, we're gonna do something else. It's like he's sitting there like, dude, I didn't have a childhood. I'm trying to make friendships, and I can't relate to my brothers. It was like he was the black sheep of the family.
yeah,
And so like even the part like he felt insecure, like the nose and stuff, like his daddy reason why he got his nose and stuff fixed and all that crap. And he was even trying to hide that from his dad. And then what his dad was doing, sneaking around and trying to get him to like do the victory tour and stuff like that. And Michael didn't want to do it. Dude, I know how that feels because one of my parents did that crap all the time. To where like they would sign up to something I don't want to do. And all of a sudden it's up there and what can you do? It's already been done. You don't want to hurt nobody's feelings or nothing. And that's how Michael felt. You know,
yeah,
one part they brought up a little bit in the movie. I'm a Prince guy. Like everybody, I'm Prince all the way. If they make a movie of Prince, I'm definitely going to see it. But like the one part where he said, I gotta finish this song. That's another thing too. His mind was always working. That's one thing you notice in the movie. He always thinking about ideas. He said, I gotta finish this song for God bless Prince with. Because him and Prince was competitive. People don't a lot of people don't know that. They couldn't stand each other. like at all. Because people forget Purple Rain came out that year too.
yeah,
Purple Rain sold millions of records as well. So there was always competing against each other, but which Prince and Michael a little bit different. Prince is more a musical musician than Michael. People don't know is like Prince on his albums, he wrote everything. He played every instrument. Like I know that because my mom was big on Prince, but the thing is Prince got played in my household. So when people talking about he wore high heels, so I didn't see that when I was a kid.
yeah.
All I knew, a Prince album came out. It didn't matter about cussing in the mama played in the house. She didn't care. like it was like, and so with Michael Jackson, I remember them videos, bro. I remember the torture video, and I sent you a link. And I said, dude, I remember all this as a kid. And think about this, Adrian. When Thriller came out, we was only 1 year old. Probably we ain't born yet. But we knew all the videos and stuff.
Yeah. So I remember the bad video. I remember all that.
Wesley Snipes was in that video.
I remember when they did the parody to that. What was old buddy name? Where they was set.
Weird Al Vanquish, something like that. Weird Al. Remember that?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was just like, and I hate that it makes me feel like I'm old or sound old, but it's like that just shows you how much times have changed to where you don't get that same appreciation or that same feeling from music anymore. Where now everything is just centered around drama and negativity.
Nah, yeah, it's that, but it's attention. You want to be popular. That's the thing. Like, well, Michael Jackson, we use it when we talk about Michael Jackson. Like, think about how much he put in them albums, bro. Like, people don't understand. Like, and like Thriller didn't have that many songs. I think I won like 11 songs. It wasn't that many songs, but he developed each track to the third degree. Like, Michael was really into his projects.
Yeah.
And it made him stand out because, dude, like, the imagination he had, like, I did a music video a couple years back. I did two. I did HDMI and I did Furry Queen. HDMI, what people didn't understand about it, at the end, when Jarrell woke up out of the dream, and I told him put the CD back in, right? And like they looked at me, my eyes were still like blue, and I winked my eye. I got that from Thriller when he said when she thought she was dreaming, and that dude put his arms around her shoulder. Dude, look at that. I got it from there. Furry Queen. Every time my sister-in-law came in the picture, colors came up. But when she left, it was black and white. I got that from Billie Jean, bro.
That's fire.
I got it from Billie Jean. But see, people didn't see that at the time because people didn't understand what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm a student of the game, bro. Like, I sit there like, and I remember like the director, Lance, he said, dude, this is the best work I ever did. When we did HDMI, it was off the wall crazy. But dude, I remember seeing music videos like that, and it made me love it. Michael Jackson was a big part of it. Man, what was that one song? It was off the Dangerous video album. Leave Me Alone. We had like bubbles in the little spaceship thing.
Roller coaster and all that, yeah.
Yeah, with the teeth doing like that. Man, I remember all that when I was a kid.
Yeah, that black and white. So that's what I'm saying, bro. And it's like
black and white's funny. You look at it now, though.
not to revert back to what we was talking about, but I hear the enthusiasm in your voice. I hear how you just got excited, like literally, like you just got excited talking about the videos, the creativity, and that's what I was trying to explain earlier. And I was like, I really feel like a lot of people don't understand that before Drake's album came out, they released all the videos to those tracks. Mm-hmm. And you saw the symbolism and the creativity and all the things that you just described. And I was like, there's hidden messages in all of the visuals if you are a diehard Drake fan. And I'm like, I don't consider myself a diehard, but I've listened to his music enough to where I picked up on everything that he was doing. And the whole project and the rollout and how he shined a light on the city, that helped boost the economy. And you just said out of your own mouth, it was like, bro, I was inspired by that. It was dope. It was this, it was that. You had an appreciation for it. And that's the part that I'm just like, how do people say that they have an appreciation for the art, the visuals, the things like that? But then when somebody else does it, you poo-poo on it. And that's why I was like, it's a walking contradiction. Yeah. If the music is just not, you're not a fan of the music, then that's simple. Like, just say, hey, bro, I just don't like it. Yeah. And keep it moving. But it's like to sit here and treat it like it don't count or treat it like he's not authentic and he's this and that. I'm like, bruh, it don't make sense to me. But like I said, we can go back to Michael Jackson because that is an important aspect to his music. It was the vision that he had. So when he created these videos, he was telling a story and painting a picture. I'm like, bro, the same way we just talked about the project with Thriller and how they showed the making of it and all the makeup and stuff that went into that. I remember them doing it for Black and White as well, with the
Yep.
pharaohs and the king and the queen, and you had Eddie
Him
Murphy
at the
and all of
times.
them,
Yep.
and the dancers came in, and you know what I'm saying? Like that was
Boom.
the dope aspect of it.
Boom Walker. People forget
Exactly. Look, I forgot about that.
Sega,
You're right.
the
You're right.
Sega game. The Sega game. You
I
know when
forgot
you
about
play
that.
the Sega Genesis game where he kick. Oh, they be flying everywhere, or they do the little dance coordination, kill everybody. The Eddie,
I forgot about that one. Dog. That was
boom.
like a movie too, bro.
Hell yeah, that's when he did that slide to the front.
I remember they turned into a car and all that.
Yup.
It was like little stuff like that. Or even once we got older,
Dirty Diana. Dirty Diana was dope too. It was more seductive, but it was dope. It went with his lyrics. That's what I'm like, man. Look, bro, like,
you know what? Hold on, Chuck, because I owe the world an apology. I just got my videos mixed up. I was sitting there talking about Black and White, and I mixed that up with Do You Remember the Time?
that's where I correct you. I said remember the times.
That's my fault. I'm sitting here just now thinking about it because I'm like, I remember the Black and White joint, and he had all the different people lined up holding hands and all that.
Man, not just that, man. Man in the Mirror. He wasn't in the video. He just showed what's going on in the world, man. It made you feel it.
Look, I may be mixing my videos up too now. Like I got my wheels turning in my head trying to go back and remember all that.
Man,
And Black and White was the one where he kept changing all the faces, wasn't it?
That's what it's funny. It's black, it's white. You tell me, yeah. Okay, he was dancing on the Statue of Liberty. I like, yeah. It's black, it's white. Come on.
So what video was it where he had all them different people and they was all holding hands and shit?
All holding hands.
Oh my God. It was like some little kids and stuff. They was all different ethnic backgrounds and shit.
That was black and white.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch. That's what I'm saying. It's like my mind is running 1,000 miles per hour, and I'm trying not to blend them all.
I think
but that's what I'm saying. In short terms, his music videos was literally like movies, bro.
And you know another thing too, not just that he was a great ass businessman. You know, Sonic Hedgehog 2 on Sega. You know, Michael Jackson did the soundtrack. You know that?
I did not. I just learned something new.
You know, the second level, the oil plant. Michael Jackson did that.
I didn't know, man. That's been 30 years.
Michael Jackson did it though. Like the thing is, they redid it to where like if you play the game now, Michael Jackson music not on there. But if you go on YouTube, you'll find the original. It was Michael Jackson who did the soundtrack. See
I swear I didn't know that.
Yeah, people won't be knowing that, man. And then what's another thing? When he did Human Nature, and he gave the song SWV. Love will be right here. Be right here. He sung the parts for real, but he let them sample it though. See, people, man, like I be knowing my shit, man. I be knowing my stuff because I keep up on it. But like what's another one? The Way You Make Me Feel was a good music video too.
Yeah.
Make me feel the way you make.
That's why I was leading up to hell. I think by then, was we in high school yet? I remember when Scream came out.
We weren't in high school yet. I think we was in grade school. No. I think it came out 7th, 8th grade year. I think.
I know we were older.
Yeah, he came out with the it was the album was like a greatest hits. It had a statue of him standing like this. That's what the video came from. Yeah, that's where it came from. Janet Jackson was on there.
They was talking about all the money and stuff that went into making that video, and that's why I was just like, where is the appreciation for the creativity? It can't just be strictly music. Like,
Yeah, it
don't
got
say you a fan of music and you a fan of the culture and you a fan of this and that, when in reality you're not. Because if that's the case, then you gotta appreciate everything that comes along with
and another thing too. Bring this up. People think Michael Jackson created the moonwalk. He did not.
it.
I'm dead sure you know who he got it from. You
I
know who
don't
you don't think
no
about it. You don't know.
no.
Turbo from Breaking. That's where he got it from. He like
Was it?
Turbo. Yes, Turbo was helping him with his dance moves back then, and he would go around just like he did in the movie when he was running the gangsters. He went in L.A. and he met with Turbo because Boogaloo Shrimp is his name in real life, and Boogaloo showed him how to do the moonwalk. Think about it. If you look at the first Breaking, Turbo was doing the moonwalk sideways. It came out the right same time. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
the pop locking, because Michael Jackson was doing a little pop locking too.
yeah, yeah. It's all dope, man. And that's why I was just like, that's why I went on that rant earlier, because I'm like, don't sit there and pretend like you have this deep love for music and you're gonna gatekeep who can and who can't do this, and you're gonna
So
sit down and evaluate who's authentic and who's not,
tell you what,
when you don't view everybody with the same lens. And I'm like, don't sit here and critique music if you're not gonna critique it fairly.
that's one thing I said about Drake too. I told you a couple times, Drake think he's slick. It was that one song I told y'all, Scorpion, Never Stop. I said, dude, that skinny pill looking for the chewing. And you said, what? What's that? I said, dude, that skinny pill looking for the chewing. And skinny pill kind of said it too. So yeah, Drake sampled my song from that. Or like it was another one where it came off Gangsta Black Can It Be, Life a Bitch. I remember
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a Drake song or what, but it had that's a wait a second. I said, it's Gangsta Black. Life is a bitch. But the thing is with Drake Daddy is from Memphis.
Yeah.
And then when he came out with So Far Gone, he took style from Zero. I told people, look, bro, I've been on this for a long. I remember I lived in L.A. and people talking about Drake said Lil Wayne discovered Drake. No, he did not. I said Jay Prince's son discovered Drake. He said, no, you know what you're talking about, dude, bro. I know what I'm talking about. I tell people I'm not saying that I'm the most cocky and I know everything about hip hop because some things you ain't put me on. But I said when it comes to a lot of it, you gotta come with your research because I'm one of them people. If I don't know it and I like it, I'll go back and listen to everything. That's the thing about me. I said I listen to everything because I get influenced from it. But with Michael Jackson, let's go back to the Victory Tour, right? He couldn't stand the Victory Tour for one. They ain't talking about that. He couldn't stand that. But the Victory album wasn't that bad, bro. I'm telling you, Torture was hard. I remember when I lived in LA, the apartment I live in, it was a woman who lived next to me, and she was an assistant for the Jacksons.
Oh wow.
And so we got to talking. And I told her, like, one of the videos I remember a lot, I loved a lot, was Torture. And she said, you know that song? I said, yeah, I remember. She said, how old are you? And I told her, I said, you were just born around that time. I said, but I remember the video. And she said, Randy would love to hear you say that because Randy wrote it. And I said, yeah, I remember that. But like my daddy had me on everything. Well, I'll tell you when we was in the house, we listened to everything, see every music video. Me and my sister still talk about this one white dude. He was on the Motown. It was Sugar Don't Bite. Sugar Don't Bite. And like how the girl, he's searching the girl everywhere. She's like a ghost, like a demon or something. But every time he see her, it showed one part where they were dancing in this club. But every time they stepped, the lights went off and everything. It was so damn dope. And then Torture came on to where like Jermaine Jackson, he was walking down the alley and like he had a demon pointing like this. And so he went into this realm to where he tried to get this girl, but this girl's a demon. So basically, like she shows a pretty face, but she wears like a mask eventually. And it showed like Jermaine was like dodging stuff on the wall. He went through this eyeballs went all over his hands, and then he fell in the well. Spiders eating people up and stuff. Do I remember all that?
Just what I'm saying,
I
like
remember all
you
that.
telling me something that I don't know nothing about.
Bro, I'm
And that's
telling you.
why coming full circle, bro, it's like there is a lot to this game, in my opinion, than just stepping into a booth and creating a song. Like, what else comes along with it?
To create a project, in my eyes, this is my creativity. I look at music as a novel and a script. So with me, when I write, I'm picturing the music video in my head already. So I'm writing from my experience. I say, okay, what can I do to make this unique that never been done before? That's an interest to me. I'm not thinking about everybody else. I'm just not. Because to me, it's like my creative field is my creative field. So I'm writing the movie as I go. So when I did Furry Queen or I did like Easy Coasting, I knew how I want the video to be. Even when the director, he said, how you want this to be? I said, let me show you this song by Zero and Slim Thug. Loving you is cool, but getting money's the only thing that's on my. But the video was so dope how they did it. I said, I want mine just like that. But at the end, I want the city behind me, this and that. And like he saw the video. I said, you got the video for it? There you go. Like I was into all my stuff. Because not just because I was doing it, because I love the process. I love it. To me, it goes off, and I think Michael Jackson was the same way. To where like the cartoon Soul, it's one of the only movies that made me cry. But the thing is, like, even when he was like playing the piano, his soul left his body. He was in the zone. I believe Michael Jackson, Tupac, all of them are like that. They're in the zone. You can't touch them because they're creating in so many ways. In a way, when it comes to that visual, I kind of respect Beyonce for that. If you look at Beyonce music videos, she gets that from Michael Jackson. She even said it. Said, I remember we used to always sit around the TV waiting for his music videos.
I'm not a fan to know that much about her. Not saying that I'm hating on Beyonce or nothing like that, but it's like
I'm not a big fan like that either. But I will say this: to go to her shows and see how she diets and dance and all that stuff, I have to appreciate that. You just have to.
that's fair. That's fair.
You have to. Like, to put on a show like it, because she knows, even though I didn't like the last albums, but she knows that people gonna go out there and see a show. Just like Chris Brown. Chris Brown came out with that album, bull crap album, because people want to see a show. Because Chris Brown can give a good show. But Chris Brown got that from Michael Jackson as well.
My wife put me on to and that's why I changed my opinion on it. She said that prior to that album releasing, that he had already told people that it wasn't going to be your typical Chris Brown album.
I don't give a damn. It wasn't 11-11. It sucked. 11-11 was hard.
If you're not a diehard fan, then I can understand why some people was like, I don't rock with it, because it was a surprise for me. It was like literally I'm on my way to the casino, so I put it on to listen to it, and the more I kept listening, I was like, okay, like where is the tracks that make you move? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking for the up tempo and this and that, and it's like you never got it.
It was a playlist.
It was just like, okay, yeah. This to me, the album was strictly for women.
It was, to me, it was a playlist, but it was too many songs. I liked the last one. 11-11 was perfect. Yeah, 16 songs, but the way healing energy on me, like even like when the beat changed and everything, it was perfect. And I said, I be damn, this gonna be a good ass. I come on, listen to it, and said, no skips, none. I ain't like the song with Future on there. Shit. Like 11-11 was good, but I didn't like the last one. I didn't like.
Now I will say this: and you brought up the Beyonce concert and things like that. In terms of being a performer, that's by far the best show I've ever seen in my life.
We're talking about
Chris
Chris.
Brown.
I'm going to see him in Detroit in July. Him and Usher.
And I was just like, dog, this dude hours upon hours with the shortest amount of breaks in between. And it was just like, dog, they hooked this man up to a cable. He's flying all over the arena. He's doing all this. And then I was just like, this is incredible, dude. Like,
they showed a video of Michael Jackson when he was in the sky too, but he was hanging off of it with no cables or nothing. I'm sort of like, this dude could have failed.
So just that in its own self, bro. That's why I said earlier, I was like, dog, it's only a handful of people that have ever moved those needles globally.
But one thing Michael Jackson got that a lot of these artists don't have, and I told my niece about it. She looked at me at the end. She said, "Did women really fell out like at his concerts? Yeah, it was worse in real life. You got women just passing out. Oh, just dragging them out like they dead. Like, you don't have that today."
Yeah, I don't know about the passing out part, but I'm telling you, bro, it's like the things that I saw in Vegas with Chris Brown. I was just like, and we'll get on to your music here in a moment. But it's like there's no way in hell, excuse my language, you're gonna tell me that I'm supposed to feel bad for making a certain type of music when I see all these women coming to watch me perform. And it's like, I'm sorry, like I will never share those same thoughts. And it was like, no disrespect, I'm not using this as a moment to bash Kendrick, but it was like, okay, Not Like Us came out, dope record. You saw him do the show Juneteenth where that was on Amazon, but then when you looked on the stage, it was just all dudes. And it's like all these dudes up here, sea walking, doing all this stuff. And it's like, okay, cool. That was a moment for men, so to speak. But it's like in reality, that's nothing that I'm gonna gravitate towards because I want to be in the atmosphere where, again, I'm married now, so I can't be in the atmosphere. Lord forgive me. I'm gonna get slapped for this comment I'm getting ready to make. But it's like when I was young,
you want to see that jelly.
I want to be in an atmosphere where it's women. Like, I'm not finna be in those sausage
mess.
Sea walking. Like, nah, bro. And that's why I feel like, maybe I am biased a little bit because I form my opinion of Kendrick fans and things like that. I'm like, bro, there's no way y'all getting chicks out here.
You can't. But I will say this. You went off that. We'll show Kendrick's masterpiece. It's when he was at the Grammys that one year. Pimp a Butterfly came out around all them white folks when he came out through shackles, like he in prison.
I remember that performance.
That one was dope as hell.
So even with that, you tip your cap and you say kudos because of the visuals, because of the art. You give him the credit, you give him the nod for that. And that's why I was just like, bro, if we not going to evaluate it on a level playing field, then there's no need to discuss it.
Yep. I miss music videos like that, man. I remember when Big Mo came out. Man, I miss Big Mo for Houston. When he came out, throw your hands high, wave them side to side. He did the Willie Walker set. We had a little midgets and stuff in there. Purple stuff. Man, throw your hands high, wave them. Oh, Busta Rhymes, give me some more. Here's that little monster. Man, they don't make music videos like that no more, bro.
Not at all.
Oh man, they were the good times. Do. Me. Yeah, all this shit. Oh, Wu-Tang. When they was on the motorcycle, them bees and shit, man.
Yeah, I remember that joint. It was a big rollout for that because it had been a minute since they all came together or something.
Yeah,
like
it was a second album. And then roll out. Boom, 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 boom. This dude got big head and stuff. Or like with Redman, I do that. But they're showing that girl on that bike. She tried to get the attention and wrecked it and flipped all over. Oh man, dude.
That's what I'm
Hey,
saying. Like them days is long gone, bro. Everything now is
uh,
just money and women. That's it.
man, I know they don't be creative no more, bro. Like
None.
that was a good time. People saw a tip drill and think they can. That's all they got to do.
Tip drill might have been the one that changed the game. You know what? Nope. Nope. I'm gonna push the button. I disagree. You gonna laugh at me, bro. Pumps and a bump. Pump and a bump changed the game. That and rump shaker.
No, Rum Shaker.
Rump
Rum
shaker.
Shaker was the one
I
that
remember
got
that video. Couldn't
because I
wait to sit there and watch it.
MC Hammer had his speed on. I ain't like this shit. He was
Man.
like this and then nah, I ain't like that. But the other one though, Shake Your Rums, I thought I want to put some look at it.
Right, that's what I said. I was like, nah, I couldn't wait to watch that video, man. Nowadays, hell, you can put that on Disney the way these videos are today. Shit.
Right. But now I remember Tit Drill, boy. I said Tit Drill was like the highlight of our young life. 2:00.
Man, you see Tip Drill last night? It came on about 3. Yeah.
Tit Drill and P Poppin with Ludacris.
Man. Yep.
But nah, Tit Drill was something else. I said, "Oh my god, that was very dude's dream." Bro, like first I saw the credit card. I said, "Oh
Man.
Lord, you know they have some action them chicks. They better."
Man.
I know, man. I sit there like we in Clinton, Kentucky, looking at the good life. Damn, why we don't got nobody look like that around here?
Man, I remember the damn I Get Around video. They was all out there by the water, little chicks and stuff. That's all.
I
Just
remember,
like
I remember the Tupac "How You Want It." All them porn stars in there had Heather Hunter in there. How do you want it? Yeah, all them porn stars in there. I remember seeing that video.
man, that's why I was just like, nah, everything is different, bro. And now that we on a good note, you know, everything's smooth, bro. Let's transition into your music. For those that don't know, it's been several years now since I've been playing your record to open up my podcast. But for those that don't know, this is your music. I try to give credit and mention it, but like I said, man, I ain't even realized that I've been doing this podcast for damn near 5 years. And it's like, you know, when that comes on, it's soothing to the ear. That's why I picked it. Like I actually enjoy it. So let's dive into it, man. You've been talking all night about how you love the music, you love the culture, you know your history. You talked about your dad and how you and your sister, you know, y'all sat around and y'all consumed music at a different rate than most people. So let's talk about it, man. May 29th. That's next Friday.
Yeah, man. May 29th, album coming out, Urbage's Status by yours truly, Sir Crumble. Basically, this album right here, man, I saw as a sign for God to do music, bro. Like everybody know I've been big on music. Even back at home, we do real raps and shit. You know, back then, like I left. A lot of people know, you know, I went to school for music business. And what made me go, cause I was going to UK with you guys, but I did a project in my community college. Just what we talking about tonight, where and I use like music that's sampled that you say you don't like, but you like it because of the hip hop. And that professor still uses it to this day. And I remember like he became my advisor and he pulled me across and said, "Hey man, you know a lot about music. So I think you need to go NTSU." And so I went down there. To make this quick though, I went for music business. And you know, back then I was called Pastor Charles back at home because my dad was pastor. I changed to Mr. PC. Then I went to Goody. And I stayed with Goody for a while. And so I went to LA and stuff. And I did the music and things, man. I almost had some success. Like one time I almost got a song pitched to Pussycat Dolls, but they broke up. I don't know if I told you that.
Nah,
Yeah, one album I did, Dippin' Dots was on there. I hated that song, but like I did it for Colin for school. And so he wanted, and I wrote the song. We got a chick, I wrote the song and everything. And so he went to LA first and he hit me up. It was a manager who used to work with Bad Boy. And he hit up Colin and he said, "Hey, I heard this song and I like it. I think I can get it pitched to the Pussycat Dolls." So Colin hit me up. This before I moved out there. He said, "Man, what you think?" I said, "Yeah, do it." Because I wrote the song with me and 50-50. But the thing is, they broke up, man. So it didn't happen.
Oh
So
well, no, I didn't know that.
yeah, it didn't happen. They broke up. And so the thing is, I was doing music out there. And be real, man. I think for years and years, I felt comfortable in my music, but I didn't. I felt like I was being too. I was being too. What's the word I'm looking for? I was being too animated to where, like, when I was Goody, when I did Good Variety was good for my songwriting stuff because everybody liked it a lot. Because that's when Kevin Hart hit me up. See, that's why I wasn't using Twitter like that. It's why Kevin Hart got big. And he hit me up because he liked Protector a lot. And he told me, man, if you like to laugh and funny people, follow me. I didn't know who Kevin Hart was back then. And the dude blew up and it was the same name and everything. They hit me up. Didn't
Oh
know.
wow.
I never used Twitter like that back then. So I came back home and I did a little EP, whatever, and I put that out. That's when Easy Coast was on there, and I remember like I was trying to find myself at the time, and so like my wife talking about like why you don't go by Crumble? 'Cause Crumble's your unique name. You told me how that name became. I said never thought about that. So I sit there did Crumble at first, the EP, but at the same time with the EP, it was cool, but it wasn't like it was like the ideas I had, they wasn't out like I wanted them to be because I always worked with Colin. And
Hmm.
so me and him had a great relationship. So he kind of knew what I needed to do. But like when my mama passed and stuff, I just gave it up. And I said, man, I don't know if I want to do this because at the end of the day, I really wanted to know was I doing this music because I'm gifted and talented with it, or was I doing it because society told me as a black man that's the only thing I can do? So I stopped. Stopped for years. And eventually, I don't know how it happened, bro. I was still getting these dreams and stuff, making songs in my head. I was still writing throughout the years. And like people coming about new music, because I always listen to music, people always came to me. What you think about this? What you think about that? Do you know talent? Blasey, blasey. Before I started quitting, I did a show down here in Atlanta. And it was like 40, 50 artists there. I went straight to work. That's why I was messing with DJ Smalls back then. And I remember like there was people from St. Louis, Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, New Orleans. And I think I was like number 40 something. And I remember I was by myself. Got up there, the easy coasting. I saw everybody's face. They was like, what the fuck is this? To where like they should know like, damn, man, this motherfucker saying some shit. I didn't think about it at the time. And like the DJ at 107.9 KTV said, and I wasn't going by Crumble then. I was still going by Goody. He said, "Hey, Goody, huh?" I said, "Yeah, huh?" He said, "Where you get that from?" I said, I'm always was a good dude, but I said, I really love the Dungeon Family, Outkast, Goody Mob, and them like yeah." And so he said, "Okay." And he sit there and thought about it, and then the night they called the people who won that night. I won, and people were shocked. And like the DJ said, "Nah, he rapped over y'all heads." So y'all don't even know what he was saying, and it was just a unique style. So I saw that, but the pressures, I stopped doing it. So after so many years, I just got the itch. I don't know why. I just got the itch. And so a couple of years ago, this is about 3 years ago, almost the same time you started doing this podcast. And I sit there and I said, Colin hit me up. And Colin said, dude, the music haven't been the same since you left. Everything that we have done came from your mind. And I said, really? So I was scared at first. And I said, you know what? Let me start making beats and recording myself and shit. So I asked my wife, I told my wife, I said, hey, I'm going to do this. Are you down with it? She said, yeah. Scared as hell. Equipment came in, didn't know what to do with it, nothing. I was scared. I said, oh man, I don't know what to do. Waste all this money and shit. And so what I did is I tack down. So I already got the song and stuff together. And work on the beats. So I started doing beats, whatever. And at first I wasn't that great about it. I was trying to get the equipment to know the equipment. But because I've been around so many engineers and crap, I knew how it worked. Because I was one of them artists like I would record, I would get recorded, right. But when it comes to mixing sessions, I'm in there. Because I want to see how that shit works. So nah, man, this is my project. I want to be in here. So like I got to know the maneuvers, how they do things. And so over time, I got my mic. My grandmama passed. We got some money left over from the house. Wasn't much, but I had a little bit of money. And I remember I said, I need to get a mic. So I got a Neumann, which a lot of people know in the recording world, Neumann's a really good mic. So the mic I got, it's originally like $1,000. So man, I don't got $1,000. For some reason, I don't know why, I looked up Guitar Center. They had a Neumann for $400 something. Said only been used one time in the studio. I said, and I called him. I said, you still got this mic? Yeah. You can come pick it up today. I had to drive an hour to go get it. Got that. Started looking up things online where I need to record with interface. I already had my Mac. I had my Mac for years. So I said, okay, I got that. Then I looked up different equipment for the MPCs and Akai, stuff like that. So what I want to use something that the hip hop has that I know use. So I was a huge Kanye West fan. So I used to see what he recorded with.
Mhm.
DJ Paul Juicy J was very secretive about theirs. So you couldn't really tell. But Kanye, I always saw him working on MPC. I said, okay, I'm gonna get an MPC. So I got the MPC. I got the speakers because I already knew what type of speakers from college. So over time, I was writing this stuff, and then I started dressing up and stuff like that. And everybody called me a gentleman anyway. And like my wife said, you should call yourself the urban gent. She said, like, that's how you are anyway. And so I started reading all these books and stuff. And I said, man, I think I got something here. So the thing is, I went with Sir Crumble. And like to me, it's like with hip hop, it's like hip hop's in here, it's not. And so to me, it's like because I'm a certain age, a lot of people say you gotta be in your 20s, whatever. Which always been the stressful part for me. Cause I said, dude, I gotta make it in this age group. And I finally realized, like, dude, you got artists coming out now who's doing okay. As long as you do it for a living, as long as your music jamming, it's all that matters. Be yourself. So with me, I seen an opening that needs to be filled in hip hop. And so just one day I started recording songs and I got used to recording the bike and stuff. And I think I recorded like 10 tracks. And so that's when I helped the engineer because I pre-mixed the songs all myself to get the engineer an idea where I want to go. So I helped the engineer online. He's from Seattle. So we got to talking. I sent him one of the songs. He liked it a lot. He said, dude, this sounds good. He said, yeah, we can work, blah, blah, blah. And he gave me a discount on mixing. And I said, okay, that's cool. So I'm saving money on beat stuff like that. We did the first session. And he said, dude, you recorded this yourself? I said, yeah. He said, you never record yourself before? I said, nah. So I was just writing engineer. He said, man, this sounds pretty good. He said, man, you never thought about recording other people? And so I thought about that. I said, okay, that's a good sign. Then he heard the rapping, the singing part. That's what got me. Because people don't know I got pipes. I'm not Eddie Kane, but I got pipes. So the thing is, I sung on the songs, and like when I heard him say, "Dude, I ain't putting no auto tune or nothing on this." Aha! So I sit there like, okay, I'm getting it now. So eventually, I got the album all together, and so I felt comfortable. Okay, let's put this music out. And so Urban Gent Status is coming out. And what it means by Urban Gent Status, I call myself the Urban Gent, and basically my production company is called the Gent Lounge. So basically, like I always like going to lounges, smoking cigars, drinking a little cocktail, whatever, bourbon, wine. And so Urban Gent Status is basically bringing people into my world to where like when you hear the album, you're gonna hear things that you haven't heard before. And what I mean by that is that the stuff I'm talking about is stuff that's going to make you better, and it's going to challenge you spiritually, mentally, and physically. But the thing is, the type of music I do is like I'm from the slums, but like I'm a person who left the slums, went to college, did everything that society told me I need to do to be better. And I'm still trying to find myself. And so with me, it's like when something's in you and you feel like you're born with it, you just gotta go with it. And so that's what the album's about. It's like my journey. And like when the album cover comes out, what people understand, because like uh my homeboy Matt, who does all my artwork, he did my artwork in the past, he blocked it out. But the thing is, what people don't understand about the album cover, I'm sitting outside, and I did this in Amsterdam. I took a picture in front of the Van Gogh Museum on purpose because Van Gogh was an artist who was within himself. Because people didn't understand his work and his artistry, he went crazy and killed himself, and then he became a legend afterwards.
Wow.
So I'm standing there to where like, because when I saw the artwork from Van Gogh, I understood what he was going through by looking at his art because that was his outlet. And
Mhm.
only certain people use that as an outlet to feel better. And I felt like I'm the same way, to where I listen to music or like I write and stuff like that to keep me sane. It makes me happy. Like music particularly make me happy, but hip hop really makes me happy. I told people I was that kid when we got out of school. I went straight to Union City. I had to get the albums.
I remember that.
Or, or like, if I didn't go, 'cause I remember that one time, Little Flip came out with Urban Legend. Gabby had to go to Paducah for something, but I couldn't go. And he left school. I said, "Hey man, I'll give you the money. Can you get the Little Flip for me?" And he went and got it. And everybody know me. I'm a big music guy. So to me, it's like, with that being said, the Jit Lounge is something to where like I'm just not looking at it from an artist standpoint. I want to bring people my world from the production, the songwriting, the creativity, because I can do a lot of things to where I can help all the artists as well. And I think the thing is, a lot of these artists need guidance. I can kind of tell when you need guidance. It's like when Takeoff, before he died, I knew he was the best one in Migos. When I heard his album, I said he just need guidance. That's it. He just need guidance. And to me, it's like we going back Michael Jackson. Quincy Jones was 60 something years old when he made Thriller.
Mhm.
So my thing is like, if it's with you, it's with you. And I don't know where it's gonna take me. I don't know. I'm just going off what I believe God told me I need to be doing. And a lot of times it's like you can't be afraid to step out and do something. I always been different than Click anyway. So I said, like, this is something that I wanted to do and I did on my own terms. And so it's a lot of stuff on this album people gonna hear. It's like it's gonna be very deep, man. I got one song that's very deep because I don't share my stuff much online. I know I have lately. There's a lot of stuff I've been battling within myself. And I share in the album, which this is just one part. Like I already started getting stuff together for the next one. Like I'm
Mhm.
rolling now. But like with Urban G Status, man, it's definitely gonna bring you in the world where it's gonna be different. But I use my influences from people that I influenced with. I know one song I did to where I sampled "In the Beginning" by Gangsta Black, but I played it myself. I made it my own because I said that I don't want to sample it. I want to take it and play the keys myself to make it my own.
Mhm.
And so it's a couple things like that on the album as well. But I'm really excited for people to listen to it. I'm really not going off like either you support me or you don't, bro. Like I think this, man, from us, you doing your podcast, me doing my music, everybody who doing something back at home from our area, I think we should support each other. But at the same time, I know back in the past, I always say I want to rep Kentucky, stuff like that. I stopped doing that because Kentucky's in me. I don't need to rep it. Kentucky's in me. So I sit there like, it's all about the urban gent. That's what it's about. And I know like Pierre and us talk about for a while, like we always talk about the gent lounge. We know, the gent lounge, you ever do like a lounge in real life, we'd be there. They didn't know I was talking about my production. They didn't know. I kept on saying, welcome to the gent lounge, welcome to the gent lounge. And I kept on doing it, because I'm working on this album. But like I said, man, it's gonna be 13 tracks. Like I said, I produced everything, I arranged everything, I recorded it. I wrote all the songs. Sende Mike, he mixed it and mastered it from Seattle. He did a good job. So man, yeah, it's gonna be on streaming sites, man. I'm pretty stoked for people to hear it. But like I said, I really went off. We talk about Michael Jackson, them. I really went off how they did music because to me, making an album is like you're taking people on experience, and I think that's what's missing.
Yeah.
To where you want people to draw into the albums, and I think with me, with this one, is like I really like is I'm myself. Even when I did Easy Coast, Easy Coast was an introduction to Crumble. I wasn't there just yet. Like I'm talking about my voice, my delivery. I just wasn't there. The image stuff was there, but I still didn't have a grasp what I wanted to do, even though the wordplay I was saying this still was unique. And then now I see what it came to. But yeah, man, we gonna see how this project go. Like I said, I'm pretty excited about it. I know next week probably gonna do a live where I'm gonna just sit down and go through each track. Like I don't care if nobody on live or whatever, but I'm gonna whoever's on there, I'm gonna break it down each track, each song to where like I don't have the budget like Michael Jackson. I'm like, yeah, but I can take you on that journey with me. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, man, it's gonna be a good album, man. But that's what the album cover is about. People don't know. I said, dude, that's Van Gogh Museum. I
So
said,
go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say, if you look up Van Gogh and how he did things, you understand it.
I was gonna say, continue with your schedule and how you wanted to do it. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or nothing like that. It's just a suggestion. Once it does come out, maybe try to do a little series or something where you take the first 2 or 3 tracks and you record your thought process, what went into it, upload it on your TikTok, and then just keep doing a part 2, a part 3 to where you're doing individual videos, but once people gravitate towards it, then they'll go back and revisit all the other ones instead of putting it on one stream to talk about it, break it out into parts and turn it into a series, or do your stream or whatever you have in your head and envision it, but then go back and record the playback and then break those up into parts. You see what I'm saying?
No, I understand. Yeah, that's a great idea, but that's why I wanted you for.
Got you.
Because like the thing is, we help out each other, and I really want to be where people listen to it, dissect it, and then ask me questions to where
Okay.
people could see it that way. But I agree with you. That's a great idea to break it down that way, a couple songs, and then do a mini series about it. So yeah, I've been getting everything together. How I'm gonna roll it out and stuff, and but it's gonna be unique, man. I mean, and when I mean unique, I don't mean like it's gonna sound just off the wall. No, it just the content and the storytelling of it is gonna be unique for people. And then the last song on there, which I use a song all my bourbon reviews, but when you hear the album, the last song it's gonna make a lot of sense to where how I made the album. You can listen to the album for the last song backwards. That's how I made it. So like you can listen to the last song and go to the first, or you can listen to the last song go backwards. So it doesn't matter which way you hear it. So the thing is like, and then I get a little discussion at the intro of the album, just showing why I did what I did and why I'm doing the music, whatever. But like, hopefully, man, like with my whole idea with this music is like, I just want to be around it, bro. I just want to be around it. Like, even if somebody hear it and say, "Hey, man, we like your beats, we like how you write. Can you come help us out?" Uh, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's like that, A&R. I think a lot of that's what's missing in the game today. Nobody wants to develop nobody no more. We miss an artist repertoire a lot. Artist repertoire, excuse me. Like nobody wants to develop these artists, and that's what's missing. And to me, it's like I told you, bro. Like I'm gonna use Houston for example. I was so damn happy when Houston got on the scene to where like Paul Warner, I had all their albums already. Or like when we was in Houston, Still Tipping. We heard Still Tipping with Slim Thug song. People heard the Mike Jones. I heard that's another thing. We was in Houston. I bought Mike Jones mixtape. The one that had Dick Don't Fail Me Now. I gotta turn Shorty out. She don't want nobody else. Yeah. He and only me. Mike Jones. I had the mixtape. Or like even when people talking about like Memphis. Bro, I can talk about Memphis all day because we was in the area. Like I bought the albums. I posted something the other day. You was talking about Indo G. I
Yeah.
said people don't remember this album, but I like I said, I love music, man. It gives me life. It gives me joy, and I think a lot of times too is where like people see it. Like if I'm around people down here, they said you know so much about music, and then when some people hear I do music, said that makes a lot of sense. To where one guy, Smitty, hit me up on TikTok. He said, "When the album coming out?" And I said, "It'll be out next week." What do you listen to your music on? I listen on YouTube Music. It'll be on there. So I already got people anticipating to where like they said, "Are like, nah, we want to see what you're gonna do." Because at the end of the day, bro, like, no offense to nobody back home, but I've been doing music for a long ass time. Even when you do Easy Coasting, some of our homeboys didn't know I did that, and I post it all the time. So I'm sitting there like, dude, I do music, and I notice is sometimes you gotta get out of your comfort zone, and you really have to network with strangers who really gonna be with an open ear, but also be interested in what you do. A lot, and no offense, to people back at home. I'm not trying to treasure people back at home, but what I'm saying is like sometimes when people think they know you, they don't have to support you until you get where you need to be. That's not how this shit works.
No, I get it. I said even with that, it's like your biggest supporters is going to be people that you don't know. Like
And
it
you
took
know,
me a while to realize that myself, and it's like that's just a known fact. And again, like you're saying, no disrespect to whoever, it's like at some point you have to put in your mind that I don't give a damn what people that I know personally think, because it may come with a harsher critique because people may not genuinely want to support you, and they just smile in your face and pretend like they do, and in reality
yeah,
they don't.
yeah, man.
So even
And
myself, I've gone through that.
yeah, bro. And like even me, like I went to TSU, went to LA. I've been around so many different types of music, not just like hip hop and Latin music. Growing up, I always listened to rock music. I always been around that because in my household we listened to everything. It wasn't one thing. Like my papa, was big on Elvis. My granddad was big on Muddy Waters, Robert Johnson. Like my dad was big on hip hop. My dad had me looking at Crush Crew breaking when I was a kid, bro. It molded me. I didn't know it at the time. It molded me. Mama listened to Prince, Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind and Fire, OJ's, Ozzy Brothers, Willie Hutch. Like,
Yeah.
like you, even with us, man. Like 3 6. I'm using people locally. Project Players, Player Fly, Skinny Pimp, Yo Gotti first came out. Like, bro, like I remember buying all them albums, bro. I remember even when we went to spring break. I'm the one who bought the documentary. I had it. We would listen to mine. And
Hey,
then when we
bumping
and,
too.
and then when we drove down there, I even told y'all about Young Jeezy. I ain't even told y'all about Jeezy. Because I said, hey, man, this dude, Young Jeezy, he got a song out there with Bun B. We get money over here, but I didn't know the title. And that's the night we was in the club. We married now. But that's the time we was in the club, Club La Vida, the basketball players. The female basketball players in there, they were tall as hell. Dance on my damn chest. The thing is, like, they started playing Jeezy down there. I didn't know who Jeezy was, but I heard of him. And that's when Boys in Hood came out, and that's when Thug Motivation came out. So I always threw these out there. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would never forget it because I remember we went down there. We had the Benny Siegel track, Such a Incredible Feeling with Slim Thug. I was some Thug. I remember when I bought the documentary and we played it in that Tahoe. It was mine because I sit there like, hey, y'all gotta hear this. But like I said, I tell people like it's a gift of mine. I don't know how to explain it. I can pick out like artists who are going to be big or should be. I can Big Crit. I said about Crit for years in LA. Me and Utah. Man, I ain't listen to that. Dude, you missing out.
Yeah, Crit is hard.
Nipsey Hussle. I don't care what nobody say. I was a Nipsey Hussle fan from the beginning. I said, dude, I was on Nipsey forever. Dom, all them. But I lived in the West Coast. I was on Kendrick back then. I heard of Drake. So the thing, and that's another thing. What people don't understand, when I did my first project, I almost went in depth with my project. I had to come back work at Greg's. That's where we did the Rose project. It wasn't that great. But the thing is, it showed how I could be because I managed a whole group of us. They all liked me more than Colin. No offense to Colin, but like everybody came to me and said, dude, we're doing this project because of you. And I wrote hooks and everything. I was CEO back. Like I didn't rap that much on there. I rapped on there because people wouldn't come do their stuff, and I did it. And then I started doing my own thing. So like at the time, like I always trying to develop. But like when I did that, I had a song where I was singing on. But I put another artist on there who sang for me. And Colin even said, he said, dude, you was doing that singing shit before we even heard of Drake. Like, dude, I kid you not, everybody said, man, Charles was doing a lot of shit ahead of his time. Like people who know, like, that even in school, my teachers, they all looked at me and said, you know your stuff. To where they made me take management classes. So okay, I didn't understand why at the time, but they said, dude, you know talent so well. To where one dude came in, he got signed with Interscope for Nashville. His name was Big Fella. My teacher wanted me to meet him personally, and I did. And at the time, the thing is, I think with me is like, at the beginning, I should have went off more what my vision was, instead of like being in a team setting. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, I don't know where the music's going to take me. I just know I just want to be around it. To me, the money will come. You want to be good with your business, but to me, the money will come. But I just want to be around it. Like I love it that much. And it's hard me explaining to people to where like, dude, I can talk about hip hop music all day long and don't be tired. I said I can talk about all day. That's why I like Avery and them. When they asked me questions, I told Avery, you're talking to a hip hop encyclopedia. I said, dude, I can break it down. Because I was that kid who went about music. I'll give you another one. I always was big on A-Ball and JG. But because when we got older, I knew there was some music out there I didn't hear from them. And I literally went back to the record store and bought all them albums. Bought all DJ Paul Juicy J's, the 3-6 Underground. I bought all of them. Even when they came out, I bought them all because I said I wanted to grab everything. And so, and the one artist that made me want to rap, because we rap back at home, but it wasn't until Kanye came out where I know it was possible. To do me, to not, well, he's crazy now, but to do me, Kanye was the first one to where I said, this could be done. Because back then, man, I don't know if you remember, I still remember to this day, like I was working we went down, we was doing that youth council thing. And like David Neal signed me up to rap. Tremont was rapping there. I was nervous as mug. And I remember like they played Chicken Head, the instrumental. I just said my little rap. My name is Pastor Charles, Pastor. I was saying all this stuff. But like, thing is, people saw it the first time they saw I could rap because like, big ups to Corey. I give Corey props. I said it in my music one time before. I said if it wasn't for Corey, I probably wouldn't be rapping and put it into like it because I never forget it. It was at Corey's house. Me, you, Mike, Corey, Pierre was there. I think James or Grip was there. We put in Charges of the Game instrumental. I said the shocker. Big time players get laced in line. We didn't know what we was doing. And I'm trying to rap whatever. And Corey called me hard because I suck. That's what he said. Donna can bench press a bus. I never forget to this day.
Bruh. Oh wow, I forgot about that.
And so the thing is, I remember I went home. And I wanted to get better at rapping. And I started learning how to count bars off the Dirty album. It was the Hater or Lovers.
That album was fire.
I learned how to count bars off that album. I knew how to count to 16. I remember it. I said, I studied all the time in my room. I said, okay, that's how you do 16. Started doing my poetry, putting in my songs, whatever. And then I remember when I was in community college, I bought that big piano. Remember, I bought Sony Acid. I was trying to produce beats at the house. But think about it, dude. Like at the time, like that was the foundation. Look what I'm doing now. Like it's to me, it's like that was God telling me like I'm planting these seeds to where like it wasn't great, but even like on a Good Variety track 2, because I co-produced a lot on that album. But I remember track 2, bing, ding, ding, bing, ding, 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 ding. I did that beat in the house, but I got Colin to play the keys shit because I didn't know how to work the equipment. I said, hey, I got this, ding, 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 ding. Because I remember me playing it to y'all in the house on that computer, which we looked at other things on computer too. We shouldn't have been looking at it. Had TL Bird and everything. But like but the thing is, man, it's just, the music was like, it always gave me joy, bro. Like I said, even the Little White albums. I remember you came up to the house, or like I get a new album and I'll pop that motherfucker in. Or like we left Pilgrims. You bought the Carter One, I bought Lloyd Banks Hungry for More. I remember that, dude.
That and fucking Devin the Dude.
Devin the Dude to the extreme. Yep. To the extreme. Bought the album too, man. I was in the Riviera, the Computer on Wheels, and like you remember them times, man? Them were special times for me. Like I got a lot of special times when it comes to music, bro.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Like I said, I'll be sure to tap in Friday, get it out there. Like you said, if you want to jump back on her and recap and talk about it.
Let's do it. No, I like your idea, bro. Let's do the series. I'll do it with you. I know my wife, she's going to be leaving to go to Portugal on the 29th. My album comes 29th. So, like, the thing is, I'm going to be here. So, like, yeah, let's do it, man. Like, I know I listened to the album. When I first got done with it, I listened to it straight through. And then I told myself, you know what? I'm not going to keep on listening to it. I know how it sounds. Let's see where everybody else thinks. I say, even if it's one song, if you like one song, that's all I care about. Like, because I just want to get to the next level. But like the music I'm doing now I post on Instagram and stuff, my beats, which is kind of hard to hear on Instagram. But them motherfuckers be knocking, boy, they be jamming. Because like I got better like production off the charts. And then what I do is people said, who do you look at when they come making beats? I said, well, I'm influenced by a lot of people. I can't really say. Like I love DJ Paul Juicy J production, but I said one thing I do go off of when it comes to Chris sound. I go off two people. I go off DJ Quick. I think he's one of the greatest producers of all time. I always his music is Chris sound or Dr. Dre. But I tell people I go off them for the mixes because like sometimes making the beat can be good, but it's really the mix too that brings it out. And like with Quick's music, DJ Quick music is just awesome, bro. Like the dude not gonna get his flowers till he pass away. I already know what's gonna happen. He not gonna get his flowers till he pass away. But like the sonically music, like we used to ride around in your dad's Cobra. I was gonna say the Cougar. We've been the Cougar, but the Cougar was it had no good speakers and stuff like that. But like it had a little sound, had that we turned. But like even when we be in the car, the Cobra, right? And your daddy would put on DJ Quick's music, how crisp and clear it sounds sonically in the car is how I want my music to sound. Um, I sit there like I try my best with this one, but over time I would get more accustomed to that to where I get that sound. I like DJ Quick have his, or like DJ Bro Juicy J. They have like a little grimy, well, not Juicy J per se, because Juicy J now he has more of a crisp sound. But if you listen to DJ Paul last album, it still got that grimy, dark texture to it. So I tell people it's how you look at it. But now, me playing the piano, what people don't know is I started playing piano in community college. Took piano lessons for 2 years, just so I could read music and play by ear. I started that back in college. So like, it's a lot of stuff that I did along the times. Now, one of the times I do have is writing songs and concepts. That always been with me. But like I told you, man, in high school I slept a daydream. So that's what I did. So like my thing is, so we talking about the Michael Jackson thing. I relate to Michael Jackson a lot, and the final outs on Michael Jackson. And I'll say this: his music lives forever. It never dies.
That's it.
Them
That's like
kids, man, like, dude, my niece was the same way. They was, and my nephew, he got the bug, man. I'm happy. He got the bug. When he came to me, he said, Uncle CJ, I got a question to ask you. What is it? He said, so I've been listening to music lately, hip hop. And my mama told me you listen a lot too. So yeah, I do. So I've been listening to Kanye West. Boom! I said, yeah, he got the bug. So let come on in. So I tell you everything. He said, this is what I've been doing, man. I said, I listen to albums and I'll go all the way back, look at the years and this and that. I said he got the bug. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Some's telling me he's gonna get into music. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for him. Cause I see it coming. Cause my sister said he was sing songs, he writes songs and stuff like that. I said it's coming. Cause he got it. He got it from me and my dad. So I said, I'm just waiting. And hopefully I can share that knowledge with him to where like he get further along to me if he wants to go there.
that's what it's all about, man. Most definitely. Like I said, we'll definitely chop it up and we'll talk about these conversations and discuss the tracks and stuff. So that way these same stories and things that you're sharing, you'll be able to go into more depth in terms of the creative processes and things like that. So save some of it, man. Save some of it. I hear the excitement, I hear the enthusiasm, and that's why centering and going back to summarize our conversation, it's like that's why I feel like the whole Michael Jackson aspect of it is important because of the feeling that you get when you hear the music, the
Yup.
feeling that you get when you see the visuals. And again, when you see this playback and you watch your facial expressions and your body language and stuff as you're talking about it, you'll understand what I'm talking about in the perspective. That's why I had to go on that rant this morning because I'm just like that feeling. I still remember when Not Like Us came out, and it's like undeniable. You cannot deny that that track makes you move your body.
Yep.
And it's like the energy that came along with it, on top of the impact of the disc records and the height of where they was at that moment of them throwing shots and going back and forth. That track is gonna live on forever.
Yep.
And it's like you have to be able to critique this stuff and show the appreciation for it, because if you're going to listen to one side and value that, even though I may not like the other side, if you really care about music, you're going to take it in, see if you can appreciate it. If you can't appreciate it, then just say that. That's just your opinion. But
Mhm.
it's like to just dismiss it and throw it away. It's like, bro, you're doing a disservice to music. You're doing a disservice to the creativity. You're doing a disservice to just the artist. And that's where I'm gonna always step in. And I don't consider myself a hip hop head. I'm not a historian like that. But it's like some things. It's like, bro, if you're not being real, then just shut up. That's
Quick
just how I
question:
feel.
what's your favorite Drake song?
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of them,
Mm-hmm.
oh God. Oh God. That's tough. If I really had to just sit down and go and be memorable and think of that. Ooh. Drake got a lot, dog.
He got a lot, but I got mine. I just want to hear what yours is.
I've never narrowed it down, bro. I got a playlist of Drake with like 6 hours. Uh damn. Hold on, man. You done put me on a hot seat now. I feel like Successful is up there for me. That goes all the way back to the beginning. And it's like just the bars, the chorus. I like the message that it sent. Um, hold on, bro. Look, no lie. Here the camera. The first song on my list is Successful. The very first song on my playlist. Um,
But I'm saying one song.
that's
I
what I'm
know it's
saying.
hard. It's
That
hard.
is extremely hard. That's why I'm just trying to look at the names and just see where it's like if I had to pick one.
I tell you mine. God's plan, hands down. God's plan, hands down. That's my favorite.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
Okay. Oh, that's tough, bro. You know what? Take that lie back. It's not tough. I just saw the name and immediately my mind went there. Ignorant shit with him and Lil Wayne,
Yeah.
where they jumped on the beat from what was that? Was that Beanie Siegel and Jay-Z?
Hmm.
And it was like that track and how they flipped it. And then that was the time when Lil Wayne was getting ready to go to prison and all that stuff. And it was like the lyrics and how they came together and made that, to me, I thought was dope. And it's like when I hear those type of songs, that's why I just feel like, to me it's so disrespectful to say that Drake don't have lyrics, bro. That's not true. It's not true. It's simply not true. And this is me giving my opinion. It may come off as bias, but it's like people talk about how, oh, Kendrick won a Pulitzer and he done this and done that. So it's like you make yourself sound like, if you're a Kendrick fan, that you have this higher intelligence level than anybody else. And I
Nah,
do
bro.
not like that. I
Nah,
don't
man.
like it.
I've been a Kendrick fan from the beginning. When it comes to Polishers, that's cool and all. That's not hip hop, bro. Like to me, it's like people who say like Kendrick, they never heard of Section 8. Overly educated. They ain't heard none of these albums. So you talking about you a Kendrick fan, dude? Like, nah, bro. Like, I can break it down, man. And like same way with Drake, it just, to me, Drake got a lot of good songs, man. I'm like, but like I said, to me, it's like God's Plan was on Scorpion. I just use that for example. Like he still has good songs that touch people. So to me, it's like it's your preference, bro. Like it's too
Yeah.
many years out here. And then I want to be funny right now because we talking about uncut. Let's go back to Steph Curry and Megan Thee Stallion. My sister brought this song up. We was talking about uncut the other night. This way he said to Megan Thee Stallion, "I'm trying to get it tonight. Oh, can you tell me what that thing smell like?" You remember that song? I already told Megan Thee Stallion before he broke up with her.
Oh wow.
Man. Oh man.
That's why I said, man, like you can go so many avenues talking about music and stuff like that. We're gonna ready to get off here, man. It's been almost 2 hours. It's
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning. You can go so many avenues, bro. And that's why I was just like, I have a hard time accepting from some people that pretend like they know music and they know how to critique it and break it down. And it's bias. Everything that comes out of your mouth is bias. And it's like, nah, bro. I'm gonna speak up every time. I'm gonna say something every fucking time because I'm like, if you're not willing to call a spade, then keep your opinion to yourself.
Yeah, man. Like for instance, Rick Ross been rapping about a bunch of shit he's not. And I think he still does it today. So that's what I'm saying, man. You
It's
can't
rooted in hate, bro.
yeah, you can't say that, man. No offense, DJ Paul, Juicy J. I like them a lot. But DJ Paul, the only people I see him date is white women. But he make you think that he all beat the hood all the time. I mean, I'm just saying, bro. So my thing is like it's entertainment to the sense. It's just the thing with Rick Ross and them. I don't like what they're doing because it's shady. Kendrick's different, but like everybody else is shady, bro. Like I sit there like this dude helped you get to another level. That's the thing
Mhm.
I don't care for.
It's crazy to me. And like I said, dude, we'll get off of it because it ain't no sense. But it's just like there's a bar on Iceman, and he's like, "Is it my light skin or my Jewish roots?" Oh, hold on. Is it my light skin or my Jewish roots as to why y'all do not want to see me win? But the way he worded it, it made it sound like he said Nazi. And he put the emphasis on the whole Jewish thing and stuff like that. And it's like there's so many different wordplay bars and things like that to where if you're not listening carefully, then you will completely miss it. And I see one of the things that went viral online where there was a track, I think it's towards the end, where he's like, "Look up, we flying through cumulus clouds, we're going through turbulence." And then he finishes the bar with um the way people lie to try to win. I can't tell if these are wins or not. So when you go back and look at the bar and you tie it into him talking about they in an airplane going through turbulence, you can break that down as to I can't tell if it's winds, WINDS or not, talking about the turbulence. But then he's like, I don't know if this is suitable. So you know a wins or not is how you can tie a tie. And it's like it's so many different twists and turns with certain bars in the wordplay to where when you listen to it, you would not catch it if your mind ain't open to absorb the music. So when as soon as I hear somebody, oh man, he ain't rapping about nothing, he's not storytelling, it ain't done, and I'm like, no, that's simply not true. It's not true, and it's crazy. It was so many bars and stuff in there. Even him throwing sneak disses at Jay, and I was like, to me, I think that takes a lot of balls to do that, considering the stature that Jay Z holds right now. He's in a position of power, and it's like I respect it because he, in my opinion, he's showing that now I'm not afraid to go against the machine,
Yeah.
these major labels and this and that, because all of these people have turned their backs on me and they're basically trying to feed me to the wolves and sabotage my career. So what do I have to lose?
Yeah.
And if it's true that he submitted those 3 albums so that he can get out of the Universal deal, and now he's going to become independent, and they're trying to say that there was already a $1 billion offer on the table, and it's like, obviously somebody knows his work, they know his value. So tying it back into everything that we're talking about, and I titled this, "Is Michael Jackson the most iconic artist ever?" Because of his influence on the world, how people gravitate towards his music globally, even to the point to where this man is on top 10 billboards right now as we speak. And Michael Jackson passed. I don't even know when he passed. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been early 2000s. I think it was what, 2014, 2000. It was something like, yeah, it was early.
So it's like, when you really look at it and you look at the dynamic, and people wanted to critique and talk about the album cover, it's so much symbolism in the album cover to where he has the Michael Jackson glove. Some people thought that that was being disrespectful, but in reality, there's so many hidden meanings to where you remember Michael Jackson went through hell trying to get out of his deal. I don't know if you
Well,
remember that.
well, the thing about Michael Jackson, the industry went against him because he owned half of Sony. Sony ATV was his side. So Michael Jackson owned a lot of the publishing. He owned the Beatles and Elvis and all them. So like he was getting a lot of money. Like was didn't like that. Sony didn't like that.
So even with Prince, think
Yup,
about Prince. You said you're a Prince fan.
yup. Same
So
way.
a lot of the lyrics, a lot of the bars, a lot of the symbolism, Drake is comparing that and talking about that. And it's like, I'm going through the same thing that these people went through. And that's what I'm saying. If you're not paying attention, and if you're not a real fan of music, you'll miss all of that. So when I hear people speak, I immediately turn you off, because it's like, nah, that's fake. I don't want to hear it. It's deeper than just Drake versus Kendrick beef. It's deeper than all of that. You literally see the label trying to sabotage it. You see the radio shows trying to sabotage it. You see these artists doing interviews, they're trying to sabotage it. They're all trying to break this man down to where he can no longer become bigger than what he is. And after this, I'm done talking. Imagine Drake being an independent artist and he owns the rights to everything. The way that he moves units and does numbers, bro, that will be damaging to the business aspect of music. Do you agree or disagree?
Nah, I agree. It's gonna be very hard for him to do it. That's the thing. He got to be really careful. He won't go that route because I really do think I think they killed Michael Jackson. I think they killed Prince. I think so.
So
That
now we
that's my
talking.
opinion. That's
So
my
now we
opinion
talking. Now
because
we talking.
because Prince before Prince died, Prince got his masters from Warner Brothers finally. Because when he called himself the artist, he did that because he didn't like what the labels was doing. So he went under the artist moniker because they owned the Prince. They didn't own the artist. So the thing is, when he did that symbol like that, he did music under that because he got the money. So the thing is, like, he got his masters back, and then like they after that he died all of a sudden. Like it was like weird how he died. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And Michael
Exactly.
and Michael Jackson was talking really about the stuff when he died. Like,
So
and
so now we looking at the bigger picture, bro. And that's why I was like, I ain't all into conspiracies and things like that. But it's like, for people that's only looking at shit on the surface level, you're only looking at a rap beef.
yeah, think
And
of think. I mean, could y'all? But think about this. Like, the critics tried to like bomb the Michael Jackson movie, but all the people loved it.
exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, like, the music's gonna speak for itself. It's undeniable. It's gonna move people. And that's the situation that we're looking at. Like I said, it makes me sound like a Drake groupie or whatever you want to call it. It's like, bro, everybody has been on this campaign to say that his music is trash, he's washed, his career is over, he's done, he's this, he's that. And the music speaks for itself without no backing from the label, without no backing from radio stations. This man just set a record and is going to be the first artist to ever have the top 3 spots simultaneously. And I'm like, you don't just get that overnight. You don't just do that overnight, bro. And it's like at some point in time, now you have to respect what we're looking at. And that's why I'm like, in no shape, form, or fashion am I saying he's better than Michael Jackson, because that's just simply not true. The music is night and day, apples and oranges. Michael Jackson's music is going to be timeless. Only certain tracks from Drake are going to fall into those categories, not whole projects, in my opinion. But it's like it's such a deeper thing with that. But we'll leave it there. Like I said, we ain't gonna keep talking about it. I just wanted to shed some light because I just feel like after a week has gone by and you still see people trying to shit on the project, sabotage his music. To me, that's some hating ass shit. It really is.
I agree. I
But
tell you
anyway,
what, man. Tell you what, they did Michael Jackson movie. All I'm gonna say is right now, if they make a Prince movie, y'all better go out there and see Prince movie too, just like they did Michael Jackson. You remember he singing? You remember he singing "Purple Rain" when doves cry, all that crap, diamonds and pearls. Prince is a ghost.
I hope they make a Michael too. The only thing that I hope they do not do, don't focus on
the kids,
the negativity.
Yeah.
I understand that's the story, and if you want to tell the story from an accurate perspective, then you almost have to.
Mhm.
But it's like it's still so many doors that they can open to shed a positive light on Michael Jackson's career. As you brought up Moonwalker, they didn't go into the Remember the Time phase. Like,
well,
you still have
that
a
was
whole
Remember the Times was in the Dangerous album, because when Dangerous came out, he wasn't collaborating with Quincy Jones. That's when he started doing stuff with Teddy Riley and stuff like
That's
that.
what I'm saying. You can explore all of those different avenues without shedding a light on the negativity and the allegations and the things like that. Don't use this as an opportunity to tarnish his name.
We're gonna see what happens, because I know I saw somebody talk about it. They said they changed it in the first movie, but they had it at the beginning to where it showed like Netherland was being raided and stuff like that. They changed.
See, don't do that. And even with I'm glad you mentioned that. It's like the way that movie was being set up with his infatuation with the animals and him in the toy store and things like that. You can open up the door to him having the creativity for creating Neverland and putting all that together, and how that brought him so much joy and things like that. Don't turn it into a negative, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, man. And kudos to his nephew, man. His nephew did a really good job.
Killed that role, man.
They said the parts where the music wasn't playing, he was actually singing them parts.
That's fire.
And then they said too, he had to lose a lot of weight. I think they said normally he's like more bulky, so he had to lose a lot of weight to get down that size. And they said even the pants, he had to wear like tight leggings under the pants just to keep the Michael Jackson moves and stuff going. But like he did a great job, man. He did a good job.
Yeah, that was definitely dope. Definitely dope. But good stuff, man. We gonna jump off here. Like I said, man, it's 2:00 in the morning, bro. I'm over here tired as hell.
Yeah, I gotta wake up in the morning like for my wife's birthday. I'm gonna make some shrimp and grits, cheesy shrimp and grits. So
all right, Chef Boy RD, good stuff.
Hey man, I am the chef, bro. Hey, I'm telling you, man, bake everything. Hey, the next time we do barbecue, I'm gonna tell you what, you should do oxtails, smoke them.
I've never had oxtails a day in my life.
Really?
Never.
They good, man. How you cook them?
Good stuff, then. We'll chop it up. Like I said, man, appreciate everybody for watching and listening, man. Be sure to subscribe to the I Respectfully Disagree podcast on YouTube and streaming services. Be sure to check out Charlie's project coming up this Friday, Urban Gent Status. It's going to be on all streaming platforms. And like I said, we'll revisit it next week. And however you want to do it, man, the floor will be yours. And we'll go from there, man.
Cool. Cool. Sound good, man. But yeah, you guys, May 29th. Thank you for all the love and support.
We out.
Ass toasted, no competition. Amnesia coasting. I feel so high, I feel so live. My body's intertwined. Amnesia coasting. I feel so live, and I know why. That I can't deny. Amnesia coasting. Giddy, fine wine, fools, malt liquor. Wish me I'm high class.